Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is a new thing that I'm trying, which I tried yesterday, and if you watched that you'll have seen it wasn't very successful. But hopefully it will be today, because I've done some tweaks, and I've been playing around with something that I'll show you in a second, which is basically allowing me to do live behind the scenes unboxing, and hopefully once I master it, it will be absolutely amazing. I currently have two cameras set up, one here and one here, and this is the microphone that I'm using to do the voiceover for this, or at least the commentary on this talking head piece. And this one's going to be a behind the scenes camera, and then I'm going to be using my other cameras. But the plan here is essentially to give you a live view of unboxing and installing Corsair's iCUE LC100 lighting panels in the 5000T, which you might have seen I've already done a video on. And hopefully it'll go well. This experience will be somewhat behind the scenes with this camera and somewhat live unboxing with the other camera, which in a second I'm going to move around and point down. I'm going to mostly be quiet while I'm doing it, because the clips will obviously be used for my ASMR channel and for the main channel. So everything you're seeing now is sort of a behind the scenes look and extra footage, but also some of how I'm going to capture the footage for it. I can switch between the cameras using Stream Deck, so I've got a pretty interesting setup going on, and I will show you some of that in a second. In fact, maybe we'll do that now. Excuse the crazy mess down here, but this little box of tricks that you can see here is the Roland UVC02, which is an interesting setup that I've been struggling to get working properly, but is interesting for a number of reasons. So I want to talk about this briefly, because I'm going to make use of this. Now, it is a presentation deck as standard, and it's designed to essentially give you the option to broadcast stuff. It's pitched as like a business thing, so you can do web meetings and things with it. It has an XLR input on it, so you can use an XLR microphone, and that's what I tried to do yesterday with it, which I've not been successful in yet, and I'll talk about that in a second. But XLR input and then HDMI input as well. It also has auxiliary 3.5mm, headset jack, and another connection for monitoring your audio as well. You'll notice there's other buttons too, so you can add effects, you can do voice effects, you can add sounds to it. I can't remember which one of those buttons is which, and I don't want to scare you, so I'm not going to press it right now. But I mean, it's a small little box, but really powerful. It's interesting because it's potentially comparable with the Go XLR, for example, and yet better because it has HDMI output, which makes it pretty bloody interesting, really. So it's perfect for a use case like mine, where I'm looking to do a live broadcast of things and improve what you can see. I'm thinking of doing regular live streams like this, either on Twitch or on YouTube, depending on how well it goes, and seeing if people like it, and then also just using them as extra content. So if you want to really watch me unbox stuff for 2 hours, maybe chat to me while I'm doing it, in between actually having my head down and getting things out of the box. I think this should be fairly straightforward. From what I can see, it looks like they're basically magnetic panels that then have a small RGB controller that connect your PC via USB, and that might be one problem, because I'm pretty sure I've got both USB ports filled up on this. So this is kind of a little of a build problem, but I might have a solution in this drawer, because I'm pretty sure I bought a USB splitter, and if not, then it's going to be a drama. And I can't remember whether I'm actually using both headers at the moment or not. And the 5000T from memory does have a splitter on it with the Commander Core XT, so maybe I'm not. Anyway, that'll be fun to get to in a minute, but I'm going to start with unboxing these, obviously, and then getting all the usual sort of close-up shots that I would get, and you get to see some of that live. So stick with me as I just reposition cameras, and then you get to see some of that. If you don't hear the audio perfectly from me, it's because using this microphone here which is obviously going to be pointing towards the thing. So apologies, let me know in the chat if you see that and shout at me. I'm going to try and sort out XLR microphone, but the problem I've had with it is there are a lot of settings on this Roland device for noise gate, compressor, EQ settings and all sorts of other things, but for some reason I'm suffering from a white noise issue, and I think it might be the microphone rather than the thing itself, because no matter what I do, even if you put in noise gate and other things on, it still seems to be problematic. There's just a little hiss on there, and I'm not sure if the mic needs a windshield or what, but it's the Rode pod mic, and it's probably user error because some of these XLR microphones require just a little bit of tweaking to get right, and I just haven't managed it yet. But one of the things that's pleasing is you can use the mic from this. So the mic that's attached to this camera is then running the audio from that through the HDMI and into the Roland device, and then out to my PC via USB and into Streamlabs OBS, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to be honest, and that's pretty clever. And obviously you have the option to also have an auxiliary source, so I could potentially plug a headset microphone in, for example, and do that instead and just be wearing a headset the whole time. Then I could talk to you while I was unboxing stuff. That might be another option. Something to look at. So I'm just going to get this camera moved, and then I'll switch over to the secondary view so you can see a top-down shot of these two and what I'm planning to do. So as you might have already gathered, it does, as I said, have a USB connection. Which is obviously going to plug into this node, and then for some reason that's got SATA power and so is this, so I've got to find two SATA power connectors. But what is cool is that it has these metal pins on it, which is hard to get in focus because it's so tiny, but essentially there's metal pins on either side, and you can see, you can probably see it better on the other camera, hold on. So you can see them there, little metal pins, and they're on two sides. So it's kind of similar to like a really tiny nanoleaf. And they're very similar, and obviously those then just need to connect together. But the cool thing about this is you can angle it. So we've got to sit it over the PSU shroud, for example, at a cool angle, and obviously connect them together. So that's pretty neat. I just threw the packaging away, including these stickers. So those obviously go on the back of that. So it's fairly obvious what you do as a standard. I mean, this looks pretty crazy, but essentially we've got the one light panel, and it has SATA power that goes to the PSU and an RGB connector. So the RGB connector plugs into our LED connector here. Then you have a USB connection that plugs into the motherboard, and obviously that uses iCUE, allows iCUE to then control the lighting, and then you have SATA power for this as well. Lights just run out of battery. Terrible timing. So that would be the standard setup. Now the drama I've got is I've got to put a bit about this in the video, how you do this, but I don't actually think this is how I'm going to end up doing it, because I'm pretty sure I've got some spare space on the Commander Pro, that Commander Core that I've got in the case, so I probably won't need to do that. but we'll see. Just making some light adjustments, bear with me a second while I sort this out. Annoyingly and inconveniently run out at exactly the wrong moment. That's one kit, actually. So there's a QR code here that says scan for the product manual, so I'm going to make sure, actually to be able to show how to do it. Turn off your system prior to installing. Yeah, obviously. Up to 18 triangles can be connected simultaneously. An additional master triangle is required as power input. It is available through the expansion kit. Oh, Jesus. Okay. RGB from the secondary master tile is not required to be connected to the Pro. That's interesting. Oh, there we go, you can. You can do it on Command Core. It says to do it on the RGB header, which I can't use, I don't think. And the LEDs on the Commander Pro. Interesting. But I was right, so that's good. Thanks, Bunny. Audio is not as good as normal. Well, that's because I'm doing things slightly differently. So next stage is unbox the expansion kit. Try and work out how I'm going to get it all in there and where I'm going to put it. It's up to you, Bunny. You don't have to hang around if you don't want to. I just wanted someone to sanity check the audio for me. Thank you. Yes, it is a test run, but hopefully it's going to go well. It's better than yesterday's. My biggest concern for this is actually this bit of it. Find 3 spare SATA connectors, and I'm pretty sure I didn't leave 3 back there, so I might have to plug in another SATA power cable, which is going to be a nightmare. Anyway, fun. Excuse any loud noises, just changing the lens. So I believe these are slightly magnetic, which I found concerning when I first heard that this was magnetic panels. I thought that does not sound like a good idea, but I think actually it's these bits that are the magnets, and they're not super strong. Well, they're not going to be too bad. Quite like this, actually, because they're not too strong. They obviously bend in different directions, so they should have potential to be interesting to mount. I'm thinking that I need to... I'm not sure what the best way to do this is, really. I think I need to suss out first whether I've actually got SATA connections in the rear of the case. That's going to be the most important thing to work out. Oops, apologies, pressed the wrong button. Sorry about that. Right. Just going to move these out of the way temporarily so they don't get broken. And then have a look at the case. Oh yeah, right. So first of all, hold on. I'm going to take these panels off so I can get into here without risking any problems. This is the 5000T. If you've not seen it already, there is a video on YouTube. There's actually 3 videos on YouTube about it that I've crafted. That did okay, actually. I was surprised. I didn't expect them to do very well because this case is remarkably expensive. I'll be honest, I thought that was going to put people off, but it hasn't, so That's excellent. Right. So my first. One thing I need to apologise for is this looks dusty, and that is because this is the H150i that I reviewed about a year ago that we've reused, and believe it or not, I've air washed this out. I've washed it out with water, I've cleaned it out with air, and it's still dusty, which is just crazy. So, goes to show, clean your radiators regularly. This is my friend who's been using this, not me. He's dirty boy. Anyway. So you can see my cable management is not terribly amazing. So go a bit higher. And the other problem is, I'm pretty sure I don't have any spare SATA connections. Oh, there's one. There's two. Okay, I've got two. But I'm also trying to save some for a drive. Oh no, there's three. Four. Oh, I might be alright. It's okay. Okay, panic over. It's fine. We've got spare connections. The other thing is this USB connection, which you might or might not be able to see. Yeah, you probably can. This USB connection is actually a pass-through. So essentially, you can connect another device to the port. So I might be able to get away with using that. If not, I have actually got, I believe. Yep, perfect. I have bought this for another project, and where's the seal? Is it no? I have to cut it. So, if you've run out of USB ports, this is an option. This doesn't cost very much. I don't recall exactly how much, but it's two USB port connections in, and then obviously one out. So you can plug this in here. USB goes into your motherboard, and then you have two connections, and it has a 3M sticker on the back. So just find somewhere to put it, and I plug in the two. Actually, just the one. Plug in the one USB. But bear in mind that I've already filled up the two front panels, so you could plug in one of these other devices as well, so the Commander Core XT or the Commander Core, plug that into here, and then plug in the lighting core into here, and then I just need one USB connection. So that's one little device which I'm going to quickly get a shot of because that will be useful in the video. So really I'd like to do it somewhere else, but So the next problem I'm going to have is the connection of the RGB, because the manual says if you've got a Commander Core XT, connect it to here, to this RGB connection. Unfortunately that is obviously already being used by this, which is the RGB strips. And it doesn't say anything about the Commander Core, the original one. Oh wait a minute, no, that's fan connection. So this actually hasn't got any RGB connections apart from the fan ones. Now I don't know if I can get away with just connecting this to there. I don't think so. So that's a shame, because that would have been an ideal way to bypass it. That's got 4 pins and this has only got 3, so I don't think I can do this, sadly. Yeah, because you could plug it in either end, so... Well, that's a shame. I was hoping to cheat. But it's not the end of the world, because most people won't have this set up anyway. It's a shame this control box thing doesn't have more connections on it. If that was 4 instead of 2. Or even 3 actually, I only need 1 connection, don't I? You need 2 lots of power and 1 RGB according to the manual, so I guess my best option is to work out where the hell I'm going to put this box. Now, my friend, I built this PC for my friend. He's going to have it soon, hopefully, and he wants to use 2 SSDs. So I need to think about 1, SATA power connections for those, and 2, placement, because to make my life easier it'd be really simple to just mount these like this. But if I do that, that's taking up one of the placements. Could potentially put it down here, but it's getting really messy. I mean, it's already insanely messy, as you can see. I could probably tidy it up a bit. But you know what? I'm not going to, because I might be doing a liquid-cooled build in this at some point. I don't know yet. So, I don't know what to do. Could potentially fit it here, maybe, and then just... that might be an option. And how much distance have I got? So I need to connect up this, which is the main connector for the kit, and obviously that one's the front, so let's see what the cable length is for that. Probably not very much. Just to test it, let's see. Here somewhere. That's not shockingly bad. So the SATA will be fine, and the RGB could probably go up here actually, couldn't it? Put it like... Jesus. There's just not enough room. Maybe you could mount it like that, but it's tight with that cable, isn't it? Oof. Let's put him down there. Right. First things first, let's just commit. I'm going to commit. I have got some spare 3M tape, so I'm going to commit to putting it in like here. Which seems crazy, but I think it's alright. First thing, I want to make sure I can actually run this cable up here, so try and slip it through some of this. cheat, be lazy. And where do I go for the setup power? Still obviously want to keep that neat, and I also need to keep it out of the way of these. Probably could run it down here. God damn it. Right, let's try sticking that down. Terrifying noise. What made the click? It was alarming. I don't even know what that was. Here's a messy cable I used earlier. Of course, they'll be very sad to see that I've used a Republican Gamers Velcro tie here. You use what you've got. I get criticised for my cable management, but I don't care, and partly because this is not the final product and I might have to take a lot of this apart at some point soon to change it, so I don't want to have to undo a lot of plastic ties. Right, let me get a shot of this because with SATA power. I'll find some of this as well now. Might be slightly crazy and put it on the PSU. So I'll run that down there. I'll put it about here. I can once again use the Provoked Gamers. So this, I'm wondering whether that was even necessary now. I've already got a splitter. I need to get to the front and have a look. Okay, so it was good. Oh, no, wait, what? Oh, damn it. Both these cables look like they're split. Because they are. Sort of. So one of these is got this pronged bit on it, which I'm not using, which I could use technically, but I'm not going to because people might not have it. So I think that's the connection on the left. Soon find out. This is okay, good. So I just have to connect this. You can see. You'll be able to see. Just on camera. You can see that this is split into two, and I'm not using that bit. So I'm going to put this into my new little splitter that I've got down here. Making sure it's the right way around. Which apparently is harder than it looks. That's because it isn't the right way around. Actually, I'm going to do that again anyway, so that you can see it. Apologies for the camera wobble. It's one of the problems of using a mic arm instead of a tripod. But it's the best solution I've found for having a flexible mounting system for my camera, at least so far. Change lenses a minute. Apologies again for the noise. So now I'm mostly done with that bit. I've done the hardest bit. I think the best thing to do will probably be to I'd like to cover this up really, but I don't think I'm going to be able to unless you can just sort of I'll be able to. That could be cool, wouldn't it? Or I go across here somewhere. Not really sure what the best thing to do is. Now, obviously the other thing I'm going to need is this power connector. Because it said somewhere you need it somewhere in the connection, halfway I guess. So I suppose I don't know what to do about this because this is going to block a lot of it unless I do. I should put it inside there, but I'm not sure that would look very good. I don't want to put it to where the SSDs could mount. I suppose it's not permanently mounted because it's all just magnetic. It's all just magnetic, so you could just put it somewhere and then move it at a later date, as long as you've got the power in the right place. You need 2 lots of power. You know what, I might temporarily disconnect this just so we can see what we're doing. I think I've not got enough light in this situation, so you can sort of still see, can't you? Adjust this so you can see a bit better. There we go, look at that, perfect. Right, and then all my cameras seem to be running out of batteries, so right, bear with me a second while I change batteries on. Another one. Okay, good. You can see still from that. Yeah, that's a good angle to look from. Right, sorry, I'm trying to look at 3 different cameras all at the same time. This is interesting because it's not a perfect connection here. I don't really know. Can you not go at 90 degrees? Huh, interesting. There's something wrong with that one, or maybe it's just prawn problems. What I'd like to do is cover this up, but I don't know. Would it look better like this? Trouble is you can't really tell until it's on because it's white lighting leaves on a white case. This edge is a bit iffy as well. Is there too much weight on it, maybe? There's a little bit of magnetisation on them as standard. But they also aren't really that strong, so they slip around. I also wonder whether it would look nice down here. You could probably tidy the cables away a bit better. Apologies for the banging noises. I'm just trying to work out whether, I think because this isn't metal, it's just going to slip and slide all over the place. So I think that's going to work. I think it has to be on that one. It'll sit flat, but then obviously in an ideal world you want it to sort of run up here and then back down again, but it's just not going to because it's going to slide off. So that's disappointing. So I guess I'm sticking to this. I think I have to put another powered one. Oh, that's not going to look good though, is it? How do you hide these cables? I mean, yeah, I can run them into the back there, but you'll still be able to see them, won't you? Damn, this is not easy. Not as easy as you'd hope. I do like the way they just sort of snap together though. There you go, it's just a clump. A clump of lights. This is the pattern. I remember having this problem with Nanoleaf as well, just trying to work out where you're going to bloody put things. But this is worse because you've got two lots of cables to hide. And we already know I'm not very good at hiding cables. Maybe the solution is to run it out towards the edge. And then I can put the other powered one here and run the cables into the back from there. Can't tell whether the pins are connected or not. And these are all the same, but see that sort of connection there looks a bit wonky. I'm pretty sure this connection is going to be a problem, but we won't find out till I turn it on. I mean, it just doesn't look like they're touching. And there must be though, because otherwise it wouldn't. I suppose it would actually. Damn. Can you put two magnets on there? Does that work? I'd imagine not, but this sort of thing you get to find out. Let's find out whether this works or not. Right, to do that we need to plug the power in. I remember not to tug too hard because it's not actually attached to anything, it's just held on by a very weak magnet. I think I read in the manual you don't need both RGB connections, so let's find out whether that's true. I'm pretty sure I've got everything plugged in now. Both power connectors. All three power connectors, mind you. And the USB connection. I think that should be ready to go. So let's see whether it works or not, shall we? Oh, damn it. have to rearrange it after all because these PCIe cables don't look great. In the way of the lights, damn it! They will help hide the cables at least, but I'm also going to hide some of the lights. It's annoying. Moment of truth. Power on. Bah. As expected, it doesn't work. Damn it, that's annoying. Does if you do that though, which obviously I can't do. Annoying. Wait. Bah. Oh. I cheated the system. I don't know if you're meant to be able to do that, but it works. Oh, what just happened? Probably because it's tried to go into Windows. Damn it. I'm concerned that they've stopped working. Why is that? I need to get this machine into Windows, which in order to do I need a HDMI cable, which I now have to find. Where's my HDMI cable? Apologies, I've got a lot of drawers and I can't remember where I've put things. Alright, super long display port we'll have to do instead. I need to fathom what's going on here. I don't know why it suddenly stopped working. There's no logical reason for that, is there? All the points are still connected. Probably just needs an iCUE update or something. companion triangle, so the right side of the master triangle. I have done. Create your layout by adding companions. Okay. What? For some reason I've clicked one and it's added it to. No, that one's not working. How many have we got? 9 plus 9 is 16. Great. What is happening? Resolution's wrong. Yay, they're all working, fantastic. Right. I suppose it'd be worth me showing you what I'm doing. Okay, so you can see this is just the lighting setup, so you choose, I need to record this, I'll do it later. You choose the LC100s from here. Obviously if you've lighting channel 2, which we don't have, so can't do that. Then you could go lighting channel 1, I don't know, can you reposition them? Obviously they're not actually in a line. How you move it, or even if that's necessary, but it does warn you that you need 2. But you can set hardware lighting to be the usual rainbow wave, colour pulse. Rain. Kind of trippy. Colour shift. Just going to turn the lights down a bit. There we go, that's better. Rainbow. No, that's rainbow wave, then you've got rainbow. we got colour shift, strobing, visor, marquee, colour warp. Well, that was nice. I think I'm going to set it to static blue. That's because this is hardware lighting. And it's currently controlled by scene. Okay. Let's disable scenes. We've got rainbow wave lighting link at the moment, so see it's set up so it's paired up with the fans, so it's matching up with the fans at the minute. Right. I think that's gonna do for it. One thing I have noticed, which you might have noticed too, is that they're very bright compared to the fans. At least on camera they are anyway. I don't think that effect is quite as present in reality. But it still is brighter. a nicer colour to photograph. Oh, you can turn the brightness down. That's interesting. Wow, it's a really fussy slider. It's basically, that's like 33% brightness, 100% brightness. Yeah, that's noticeably brighter. That is noticeably brighter than the thing. I wish I had like a measuring tool for brightness. It's definitely brighter than the fans. Yeah, and the fans are set to maximum brightness as well, so don't really know what to do about that. Just going to use this camera to take some photos, so apologies if you hear the noise. It'd be beneficial to just turn it down to a lower brightness just for the photographs. think that's mostly been a successful mission. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Hope you found this interesting. Let me know in the comments or in chat, depending on where this is, what you think, and if you'd like to see more of this sort of thing. I was hoping to do more tonight, but it's getting late, to be honest. It's nearly 10 o'clock and I've still got to tidy up after this. But it went pretty well. Came out pretty well, I think. The only problem I'm going to have now is when I go to install my friend's SSDs and I have a bit of a drama there because I can't find any SATA connectors. But I could always fit some more in there maybe. But it looks pretty nice, I think. Quite happy with it. Some good takeaways that I'll be able to use in the video proper, which is obviously it has to go on metal, because if it's on plastic it's just going to slide off. I suppose it would work if it was a flat plastic surface, and you can use two of the magnets on the side if you want to go for a 90-degree angle to go down on something as well, so that's pretty cool. Also, obviously need to consider things like cables getting in the way and all the power you're going to need, and USB headers. There's a lot of considerations to think about, so hopefully that'll be an interesting insight. I might do another one of these next week. I've got loads of stuff that needs unboxing. So much so that I can't even find it. There was a box sitting around here. I've got like 3 headsets to get through and another mouse. Yeah, I've still got to do this, which I haven't done yet. It's the SteelSeries Prime Plus. I've not got to that yet, and I also feel like there's another one. I don't know what, but I've also got the EPOS H6 Pro open back headset. I've done the closed one already. I've got the open one to do. HyperX's Cloud Alphas. Beyerdynamics MMX 100. We've got HyperX Cloud Stinger Core, which I think has been around for ages. I just haven't got to it yet. I've got 2 keyboards, 3 keyboards actually. God, there's too much to do. But it's all good fun, lots to do. If you've enjoyed this video, help me out by clicking that thumbs up, smashing that subscribe or follow button, and maybe also check out my gameplay channel, the Provoked Prawn Pews. Nearly 1,000 subscribers with that, so I'm really excited. Thanks for watching.